Hello students, this is PTG ma'am and today's video will again be for class 12 entrepreneurship students who will be soon appearing for their boards examination. So let me wish you all the very best for your exams. I'm sure all of you will do very well. And what are we doing in today's video? We will be concentrating on Unit 5. Now, what do you have in Unit 5? This is CBSE specific video, okay? So, what do we have in Unit 5? You know, we have Business Arithmetic there, an interesting chapter, okay, where you have numericals. But, in spite of this chapter being very, very interesting, okay, I do find some students getting a little confused with this particular chapter. And what is the confusion about? The confusion is about the fact that if you're getting numericals from this chapter, should you also study the theory part? Or is it just okay to concentrate only on the numericals and ignore the theory part? Okay, so this is a very common question that I get to hear from many of the students. So I will be dealing with this chapter in as much detail as I can, and I will be telling you as regards to this chapter that what you are expected to study. Okay, is it just the theory? Is it just the numericals? If it's the numericals, then what about the numericals? And if it's the theory, then what are the areas where you should be laying stress on? So it will be my request that don't skip the video. You can, of course, that's your wish. I can't stop you from doing it if you really want to skip it. But if you really want to take advantage of the video, then watch it till the end, because I will be giving you tips and advice based on the year's papers, and what we have observed has come from this particular chapter. So I will be telling you about both the numericals and also the theory part from this business arithmetic chapter. And yes, you have to study the theory part also when we talk about business arithmetic. You can't be very good with your numericals until and unless you have the base, which is the theory part. So keep watching. Okay, so as I said that today we will be concentrating on Unit 5, which is Business Arithmetic, and you do have both numericals and theory from this chapter. Okay, and this chapter is quite important because numericals you're definitely having in your theory paper. Also you have numericals, and you also have your numericals when you're talking about your practicals. There 5 marks, the 5 marks is given there for numericals, which is your written part. Okay, now let's first concentrate on the numericals part only, that in this chapter what numericals you have. Okay, so now we are concentrating first on the numericals portion. The first thing that you will have is unit price, calculations of, okay, calculation of unit price then calculation of unit cost and gross profit. Sometimes it is also given to you as the gross margin also. These three are coming from the same portion: unit price calculation, unit cost calculation, and gross margin or gross profit calculation. Unit price, we know that when you divide the total billed amount by your total number of customers, you get this unit price. Cost is usually given as a percentage, okay, of the price itself, so that way you calculate. And margin or profit is the difference between the price and the cost. So this portion isn't very difficult, but there is a bit of calculation that you have to do. like total billed amount, total number of customer that you have to do. Okay, so this is one basic sum that you can have from this particular chapter. Second thing is based on your break-even analysis. But when we talk about break-even analysis, you had done BEP even in your class 11. But what is the difference between the class 11 and the 12th syllabus is that it is not a single product anymore. Okay, it is multiple product. Multiple product or service. Multiple product or service means 3-4 products will be given. Usually you have 3 products, A, B, C, P, Q, R, okay, lipstick, kajal, eyeliner, chips, then maybe what else you have, noodles and tomato sauce or something like that. So you will have different products and there will be sales mix percentage or ratio given to you. This thing will be given to you and you will have to calculate your BEP. Now BEP, we know it is fixed cost. Normally BEP that we used to do is total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. This is what we had learned in class 11. But when we talk about the class 12's BEP, this will change a little bit. Okay, so it will be not just contribution, now it will become weighted average contribution margin per unit. Okay, so weighted average contribution margin per unit is what you have to find out. So we will be using this formula, total fixed cost divided by weighted average contribution margin per unit. Okay, so first you will find out the BEP units, then you will use this percentage or ratio to calculate the individual BEP units for the products. Then you will multiply those units with the price so as to get the BEP rupees, and then you will add up all the BEP rupees of the individual products so as to get the total BEP sales. Okay, so this is all about your BEP. So you have a multiple product thing. Okay, so this is another thing. Next, I'm changing my pen because the ink is not clear. Okay. Next, what sum can we have apart from this? Next, we can have EOQ. Okay. Or rather, before EOQ, you have one more thing, which is calculation of gross and net working capital. Calculation of gross and net working capital. This is very easy. You know, you will be given a list of assets and liabilities. You will have to choose your current assets and current liabilities from there. Certain liabilities or assets might be there just to confuse you, which do not qualify as current. Okay, so you will have to exclude them. You will ignore them and you will add up all the current asset so as to get your gross working capital, and then you will calculate your current liabilities. Okay, now when you subtract current liabilities from your gross working capital, then you get your net working capital. So this is also very easy. This is another easy sum that you. Okay, so the next thing we are having is that is number 4. You can't see it probably. Okay, number 4, we are having sums on EOQ using the formula 2PD by C. Usually, the common type of sum is you have to find out EOQ and these things will be given to you. But in some of the years, the EOQ has been given already. So information about the EOQ is already given. And either P is given and D is given, or D and C is given, or P and C is given. That means what? One of these is missing and you have to find out that. So either it is a direct question where you have to find out EOQ by using all this formula, or it can be EOQ is also given and some information from this part is also given, and you either have to find out P, or you have to find out D, or you have to find out C. Obviously using the same formula and doing the calculations. So this is the next type of sum that you have. And the last one that we have is, I'm not getting my duster right now, so I'm using my hand for it. Please don't mind. Which is very important also. Though this time if you have seen your sample papers, please do check out the CBSE sample papers. Their big sum on this particular portion is not given. Even last year you did not have a long one on this, but this portion is difficult, a little confusing and important. So don't skip this particular portion that I'm writing right now, which is sums on ROI and ROE. Okay. Now one thing that I'll just tell you, because this is a point of confusion for students. If you go by the CBSE textbook, there you will find ROI, the formula that they are using is PAT divided by total capital invested into 100 into 100. Okay, PAT, or they're writing net profit. This is according to your EP textbook, but according to your accountancy, you will see we are usually taking PBT, profit before tax, divided by total capital invested into 100. So you might wonder which one to take, which one is right, which one is wrong. Now see, if you go by the logic, if you go by the concept, then this is right. Okay, this is absolutely right. This one, this PBT by total capital investment. But since your textbook is giving this particular formula, so there is nothing to worry. If you are using this formula also, you will be given marks. If you are using this formula also, definitely you will be given marks, because this is already there in the textbook. So don't worry about what will happen. You will get marks in both the cases, I'm sure. Okay, teachers will consider that. Okay, now the next part is ROE, which is PAT. This is clear, PAT divided by equity into 100. Okay. This is the formula we will be using. Another area of confusion for student is whether to use monthly basis or annual basis. That depends on how you are taking it. But just remember, you cannot mix them up. Okay, usually we go for the annual figures. So in that case, if monthly figures are given, we multiply with 12 and we get the annual figures. Depreciation, normally whatever depreciation is given, that is on annual basis. So if that assumption is made that depreciation is annually given, then we will not further multiply it by 12. But if the sum is clear about the depreciation being on monthly basis, then we will convert that also. So either you do it monthly basis or you do it the yearly basis, just make sure that you are not giving it a mix of both. It should be either this or that. Okay, so this is all about your numericals from this particular chapter. The theory part on this chapter, which is on this business arithmetic, that I will be taking up in my next video, because this has already been a long video. I couldn't make it shorter because then I would have missed out the details and it would have been of no use. So if you have been patient enough to watch it till here, please do keep an eye on the next video, which will be on the theory part of the unit 5, which is business arithmetic. I hope this video has helped you a little bit, at least. A bit of your confusion has gone, I'm sure, if you have watched it till the end. And if it has helped you in some or the other way, then trust me, I'm very happy. And I will be making the next video very soon, which will be on the last chapter, that is unit 6, where also there has been a lot of deletions this year. So I will be summing up what you need to study and what you don't need to study this year, probably because of the deletions. Okay, so that's it for now. See you soon.